Hi, my name is Terry Lee from Sweet Pea Papers, and today is the first video in our series that I'm going to call Eclectic Heirloom. I almost said Heirloom. Heirloom. And we'll talk about that in just a second. I've got a proto made, yay! And hopefully this second video, my second try at doing this, I will be able to reproduce my proto, and we will have the base construction for our project. Now, you're going to need 3 manila folders with the center tab. And this one I've actually cut to size because I cut it in the first video, and I'm not going to make another one that's exactly like the one I need for the second video, and I'll just tell you that it's a 6x8, and that's all you need to know. It's a 6x8. So you don't need the hair. These two I've cut, but we're going to cut them some more. So you're going to need 3 folders. 3 folders. And then when you get done, you're going to have a bunch of pieces, and I want you to save them because some of them are flip-ups and some of them have tabs, and we'll use those to make pockets. These little flip-ups we may use as hinges. We may cut them apart and use them for something else. And then you're going to have a couple of really long pieces left over, and those are from when we cut the tops off. And you want to save those because we can cut them down and make them into belly bands and whatnot. Okay, so save all your scraps. And like I said, we'll get into the cutting and stuff in just a second. You wouldn't believe how many scraps I have. I have the scraps from the proto, the scraps from the video that didn't work, and the scraps from cutting these down so far. Lots of scraps. Okay, so this is the prototype of what we're going to make. It's going to open this way and have a 1/8 inch gusset, and then you're going to open this gusset and all. And when these two are glued together, I made a large pocket on the top. So then you fold the whole thing over, and then it opens like this with another they're 3/8 inch gussets. And then on this side there is a full 1/2 inch gusset, and so this folds like this, and it's smaller on the top side, so 1/2 of the folder is a little bit smaller. That's to give us enough room so that it doesn't come right up against the fold. And then we fold it like this, and then this is actually the back once you are looking at it. All right, now we're going to add other stuff to it. Sorry, you could probably hear that heater for a minute. I don't have any hand warmers on today, and I'm not wearing a sweater, and so I am literally freezing to death. So anyway, that's the base construction. We're going to make other things that add on and all that good stuff. Now, this is not a lap book. It's small, and it's going to be more an interactive journal. So that's what we're going to call it. We're going to call it an interactive journal. We're not going to call it a lap book. It's not a bigger, full-size journal. Okay, so that's our prototype. We're going to be using the Heirloom stack pad. Now, this used to be $18 on Amazon, so I bought 2, and I'm really glad that I did because it's 180 12 by 12 sheets. They're printed on one side, but that's kind of good because then you don't have to decide between the two. And the dog you hear barking in the background is, of course, my dog Oz, that everybody knows that he always barks at least once in every video, sometimes enough that I have to put you on hold, so you never know. Make sure when we're cutting to keep any scraps that we have left over from the pages. As you can see, this is a really good scrap, and then these are brown. This one's brown. So these are good patterns that we could use when we cover our pockets and our belly bands. And then we have our full-size pages, and I'm not going to flip through this because it's just huge. But I do believe it is now $40 So I apologize for using something that's kind of expensive. You don't have to use this. You can use whatever paper you want. And the reason I'm calling it Eclectic is I'm not going to try to make it, you know, use the pages that match in a certain way to make it feminine or male or, you know, grunge, or obviously not flowers, or what's the other one? Not grunge. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So we're not going to do any of that. We're just going to use pages that we want. And so we're just going to kind of mix and match, and it's not going to have any particular style. Oh, steampunk is the other one. So it's not going to be any of those. It's going to be a mix of everything. Okay, so I'm also going to be inking the edges of the paper with gathered twigs. I tried several colors. I don't know where my sample is that I did it with. Yeah, I don't have it right with me, but I auditioned several colors. I knew that I did not want to use vintage photo, and everything. I have several browns, and so there's no reason to use the same brown on everything. Okay, so but you can use whatever color you want, whatever color you're comfortable with. If you want to ink the manila folder, I say go for it, but you're going to be inking a lot. So I'm going to leave this plain. And if I was going to tape it and use the brown tape that I do on some, then I would have had to do that before I glued anything together. So you can watch my flipbook video series, and that will show you how to tape the edges if that's what you decide you want to do and have that look. All right, so it's going to set this to the side. So we're going to cut all three. We're going to cut the tabs off right at the tab line. Okay, let me show you. I have extras here. You're going to cut all three of them off at the shortest tab line. Okay, and that will cut it off right even with this right here. Okay. And I moved the camera a little bit. Some people were having a little trouble with the angle, which I apologize. I do have to tip my camera just a little bit because of how long my swing arm is. So anyway, we're going to cut them off right here. And then you'll end up with these bigger ones. And then we're going to cut them to 8 inches high. So you're going to have it cut off to the tab and then cut 8 inches tall. You're going to take one of the three and you're going to cut it to 6 by 8. Okay, so that's 6 inches wide and your 8-inch height. And that's number one. Now you're going to take this 6 by 8 and you're going to make a gusset on the very first gusset line from the center fold. And that's going to make one side shorter, but that's the shorter side in here that allows us to fold without them bumping into each other. Okay, so let's do that. Let's see if I can do it. Please let me be able to do it. Excuse my sniffles. There's a way to do this. There we go. Oh, for Christ's sakes. And then you're gonna use your bone folder. Okay, so now when you open this up and use your and have your gusset, you're going to have one side shorter than the other. And that's what we want. Okay. And we have a 3/8 inch gusset, which those are the hardest ones to fold. Okay, so don't worry about it, but you're going to maybe have a little bit of trouble getting that first little bitty one to fold. I always do. You may not. And then don't worry about the other 2 lines. Okay, so you're going to have that 3/8 inch gusset, and then you see you're going to have your folder is going to be a little bit shorter on one side than the other. You're going to take a second folder and you're going to cut it so that it has a 1/2 inch gusset. So you're going to cut it to 6 1/2 on one side with the gusset lines. You're going to cut that to 6 1/2, and you're going to cut this side to 6. Okay, so we're going to measure from the center line. We're going to measure out 6 1/2. And then we're going to go from the gusset, or from the center line, we're going to measure out 6 inches from this side. We're going to mark that. So now we're going to cut them, and hopefully this will work. Oops, let me move this out of the way. We don't need it. Okay. Oh, and make sure that you switch your blade from your paper blade to your cardboard and construction paper blade. I always save my dulled blade, one of them. Like every time I switch a blade, I save the old one and then mark it with a C, and then the new one I don't mark, and that's for the paper. This is the one that makes the little kind of fuzzy edge on paper, but it will cut this fine. Once it starts making fuzzy edges on this, that's when I throw it away. Okay, so we get another scrap. And then this side we're going to cut to 6. Okay, so it's smaller. Then we're going to make the 1/2 inch gusset, which is 2 lines over. Use our bone folder. Oh, I also wanted to show off my spiffy new watch. It's a regular watch with the regular hands, and guess what it does? It tells time. It doesn't tell me that I need to walk. It doesn't tell me that I'm being bad. It doesn't tell me any of those things. It just tells time. Okay, and the really cool thing about it is it's got my name in it. I don't know if you can see right there. It says Terry Lee. So if you ever forget my name, just check out my watch. And it also, the little hands glow in the dark. So there you go. And I got the white one, not the black one. So that's my new watch. So we're going to fold this up. We have our 1/2 inch gusset. And since we made a 1/2 inch gusset and we cut the one side a 1/2 inch bigger, then they're going to be the same size on both sides. All right, so now we're going to glue these together, the little one and the big one. We're going to glue it so that the big side, the 6 inch side, is on the 6 inch side, which is both, either way, but I'm going to do it this way. Now when we glue them together, this is where we make the pocket. So we're going to glue from the gusset. You don't want to glue any farther than that, because then that will mess mess it all up. So you're going to glue it from gusset to gusset, or gusset line to gusset line. Okay, and so we're going to glue this on 3 sides. Where's my glue? Okay, so it's going to go in this way. So this is going to, let's mark this as the top. Mark it farther down so you don't see it. You don't want to mark it, you know, up in the area that you're going to see. So that means we're going to glue these 3 sides. And then we'll have a great big giant pocket. Okay. We're going to open this up. I'm going to flip this over. And we're going to glue them together so that this meets, this folder here meets the gusset line on this one, which is the center fold. Now, you want to make sure that they're straight so that your pocket is straight, and you're just going to glue it down. Now this one's a little crooked. Let's see if we can fix that. Okay, so now we've got the 1/2 inch gusset on this side. We've got the 3/8 inch gusset on this side, with it being a little bit shorter so that we've got room to close it without it rubbing against it. Now we're going to make a second folder with the 6 inches on one side and the 6 3/8 on the other, just like we did the very first one, because it's going to be identical. So we're going to measure 6 3/8 on this side, and we're going to measure 6 inches on this side, and then we're going to cut them off. So right now we have a box, basically. Okay, so now we're going to cut this one. It's so cold in here, my glue is running slow. Move the heater back down the hallway, so now I don't think it's going to turn on, which is good for the recording but bad for me because I'm freezing. And I actually cut the longer side, I think, on the wrong side. We'll check and see. Oh no, I didn't. Okay. 6 3/8 goes on the side with the gusset lines. Once again, we're going to fold it at the first line. So that gives us a 3/8 inch gusset. And then when we open it up, they should be the same. Okay? And we're going to take this one and we're going to glue it on the, let's see, yeah, we're going to glue it on this side so that it opens this way. And we're going to glue it on 3 sides so that we have a pocket. So let's mark this at the top. And we're going to glue it on 3 sides. And then we'll have our basic construction done. And I'm going to think about what I want to put in one of the first sections or whatever, and or whatever. And you want to line this up just like you did before. So you want it to be straight, right up on the edge of the gusset that you're folding it on top of. So then you're going to have a small gusset and a large gusset glued together. All right? With the pocket at the top. Hopefully. Let me check and make sure that I have the pocket in the pocket. Okay, so we've got the large pocket at the top. I'm not sure where the other pocket is. I don't know where I put it, but that's okay. Our proto came out correctly. And if the other pocket comes out at the bottom, then I'll just glue it shut. And then we'll just say that I glued it upside down, and then you won't make that mistake. So we open it up, and we should have a pocket. Let's make sure this is even. Okay. Looks like I might have cut this a little bit crooked. Sorry, probably off the... Okay. And then we're just going to have a giant box, like so. And then all the sides should be even. Looks like I did cut this one a little bit crooked. So that's how you make it. Don't cut it crooked. I'll use the prototype because it isn't cut crooked. But there's another one. Okay. I don't know how I cut this one where it was a little bit wider on the edge. That's all that's wrong. Is this is a little crooked. Probably could open this and fix it. It's already crooked. What's the worst thing that could happen? If this happens to you, just open it up. And put it on your paper trimmer. Line the top one or the bottom one, whichever one is the correct one, up with the line. Oh, see, I cut it. So this one must be the correct one. And you want to make it straight, whichever one it is that's straight. Okay. Let's see if that fixed our problem. Well, it still looks a little crooked. So, anyway, it's probably a little problem with my gusset folds. Anyway, so if you have one that's a little crooked like this, use it as your prototype, make another one, and then you'll learn from it. And you'll have one that's a little bit crooked that you could probably fix with paper. The only other thing is that my two pieces are sticking out a little bit. This looks like I folded this one a little crooked as well. But not really crooked, but just it sticks out a little bit on the top and the bottom, which actually is fine. I mean, it's not going to hurt anything. It looks like if I fold that back, it's even. And if I fold this back, it's even. So it may be all right. And I'm just don't have, oh yeah, see, and I just haven't creased the gussets enough. So it looks like that one is square as well. Okay, so that's it for the construction. We just have a 1/2 inch gusset and 2 3/8 inch gussets, and so you just cut your folders accordingly. And that's it for this video. Here's our proto, here's our real one, and I will see you in the next video, and that will be just a second for you and a day for me. Okay, all right, bye bye.